Look at the nightstand next to your bed right now. There is probably an 8-ounce glass of water sitting there. You put it there because for 30 years, every health magazine, cardiologist, and morning talk show told you that drinking water before bed prevents blood clots. They lied. Or rather, they gave you advice meant for a 30-year-old body, ignoring the biological reality of what happens to a human kidney after the age of 60. That seemingly harmless glass of water is not a cardiovascular shield. It is a biological trigger, a mechanical override that forces your aging glomerular filtration rate into overdrive, guaranteeing you will be staring at the bathroom tiles at 2 in the morning. Today, we are putting your hydration habits on the autopsy table. We are going to dissect the 7 ways you are unknowingly suppressing your arginine vasopressin hormone. No generic advice here, just cold, hard physiology. Mistake number 1, the morning shock. At 7 in the morning, you wake up, your mouth is dry, you walk to the kitchen and chug a tall, freezing glass of filtered water. You think you are rehydrating. What you are actually doing is flooding your vascular system. This rapid influx creates an acute osmotic shift. Your blood plasma dilutes instantly. The osmoreceptors deep inside your hypothalamus panic. They interpret this sudden dilution as an emergency and immediately shut down the production of antidiuretic hormone. For the next 14 hours, your kidneys lose their ability to concentrate urine. You just programmed your bladder to leak. The fix? Stop shocking the system. Pour 150 milliliters of warm water. Sip it slowly over 30 minutes while you read the paper. Warm water absorbs through the intestinal wall 20% faster without triggering the thermal shock that shuts down your hormones. Mistake number 2, the gravitational flood. By 9 in the evening, gravity has pulled excess fluid down into the capillary beds of your lower legs. Your ankles might swell slightly against your socks. When you finally lie horizontally, gravity loses its grip. Within the first 90 minutes of sleep, nearly 300 milliliters of that stagnant fluid rushes back up your venous system. It hits your kidneys like a tidal wave. Add the glass of water you drank at 8:30, and you have just weaponized your own circulatory system against your bladder. Mistake number 3, the mucosal erosion from healthy drinks. You swapped evening coffee for hibiscus tea. You added a slice of lemon to your sparkling water. You think you are healing your gut. In reality, you are chemically burning the inside of your bladder. After age 70, the protective mucosal layer lining your bladder thins out by roughly 40%. It loses its shielding matrix. The citric acid in that lemon slice, the carbon dioxide bubbles in your sparkling water, do not just pass through. They actively inflame the naked urothelium cells. They trigger microspasms. Your brain registers this chemical irritation as a full bladder, even when it is nearly empty. You wake up desperate to pee, only to release a few painful drops. Throw out the lemon. If you must drink after 5 in the evening, make it plain, still, lukewarm water. Mistake number 4, starving the detrusor muscle. Over 68% of older adults are operating with a severe, chronic magnesium deficit. Why does this matter at 3 in the morning? Your bladder is wrapped in a muscle called the detrusor. It requires magnesium to relax. Without it, the detrusor becomes hyperactive. It twitches. It contracts violently when the bladder is only 20% full. You are not waking up because you drank too much. You are waking up because your bladder muscle is cramping. And the purified, reverse osmosis water you drink all day, it has been stripped of every natural trace mineral. You are flushing out what little magnesium you have left. Tomorrow morning, add a single pinch of high-quality sea salt to your first glass of water, or pair a magnesium supplement with a slice of avocado because the fat increases cellular absorption. Give the muscle the mineral it needs to unclench. Mistake number 5, the glomerular overload. You forget to drink during the day. By 6 in the evening, your lips are chapped, your urine is dark, and the thirst hits. You down 3 glasses of water with dinner to catch up. Here is the biological reality. At age 65, your kidneys have lost 30 to 40% of their filtration efficiency. Your glomerular filtration rate, the speed at which your kidneys process liquid, has permanently slowed down. When you dump 30 ounces of water into a compromised filtration plant at dinner, it cannot process it in real time. It creates a backlog. The kidneys slowly grind through the excess liquid, finally sending it to your bladder right around midnight. Just as your brain enters deep sleep, the alarm bells ring. You cannot outsmart a slower filtration rate. You must respect it. Mistake number 6, the residual trap. You go to the bathroom right before bed. You finish, wash your hands, and lie down. You think your bladder is empty? It is not. The bladder is a hollow muscular organ, not a rigid pipe. As we age, the connective tissues lose elasticity. The pelvic floor muscles, which act like a hammock supporting the bladder, begin to sag. In men, a slightly enlarged prostate creates a physical roadblock at the bladder neck. For women, estrogen depletion after menopause thins the urethral lining. This combination means your detrusor muscle cannot squeeze hard enough to expel the final drops. This leaves behind 50 to 100 milliliters of residual urine. It sounds insignificant. It is just a few ounces. But it is exactly enough volume to keep constant physical pressure on the delicate stretch receptors lining the lower bladder wall. These receptors are microscopic sensors. They do not know what time it is. They only know pressure. 2 hours into your sleep cycle, as the kidneys slowly trickle in a few more drops, that residual volume crosses the threshold. The receptors fire an emergency electrical signal up your spinal cord to the brain. You are awake. The solution is entirely mechanical. Urologists call it double voiding. After you finish urinating the last time before bed, do not stand up. Stay seated on the toilet. Wait exactly 30 to 40 seconds. Let your body go entirely limp. Take a slow, deep breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. This specific breathing pattern activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest pathway, which actively forces the tense pelvic floor muscles to fully release. Then lean slightly forward and try to urinate one more time. Do not strain. Do not push. Just let it flow. That second release empties the residual trap. It clears the baseline pressure off the stretch receptors. This single mechanical adjustment can buy you 3 extra hours of unbroken, deep restorative sleep. Mistake number 7, extracellular flooding. You are drinking pure, expensive, filtered water, but it is completely failing to hydrate your cells. It is just floating around them, creating a burden. Water cannot arbitrarily force its way into the intracellular matrix. It requires a biological magnet to pull it through the cell membrane. That primary magnet is potassium, operating through the sodium-potassium pump. When you chug water late in the day, especially on an empty stomach, the fluid pools in the extracellular space, the gaps between your cells. Gravity pulls it down. Your ankles swell. Your rings feel tight. It sits there until you lie down. Then it dumps straight back into the bloodstream and heads directly for the kidneys to be filtered out. To fix this, you must bind the water intracellularly. Tomorrow, pair your afternoon hydration with a physical source of potassium. Eat half a banana, snack on a few slices of cucumber or a small boiled potato. The potassium ions actively pull the water through the lipid bilayer of the cell membrane, locking it safely inside the muscle and organ tissues where it belongs. Water locked inside a cell cannot trigger a bladder spasm at 3 in the morning. This brings us to the ultimate biological fix, the circadian renal protocol. You cannot magically reverse the biological age of your urinary tract, but you can ruthlessly manipulate your hydration timeline to outsmart your aging kidneys. You must align your water intake with your cardiovascular peak. Rule 1. The golden window. You must consume 40% of your total daily water requirement in a tight window between 1 in the afternoon and 5 in the evening. Why this specific block of time? Because this is the exact window when your orthostatic blood pressure is most stable, your heart rate variability is active, and your glomerular filtration rate is operating at peak daily efficiency. You are giving your kidneys the raw fluid materials when they actually have the metabolic energy and blood flow to process them immediately. Rule 2. The 2-hour red line. You must establish an absolute non-negotiable boundary. No liquids of any kind 120 minutes before your head hits the pillow. Not a sip of relaxing herbal tea. Not a mouthful of water to wash down a magnesium pill. If you take evening medication, take it with the absolute minimum amount of water necessary just enough to clear the esophagus, and do it right at the 2-hour mark. If you feel thirsty at 9 at night, it is a false signal. It is your mouth feeling dry, not your cells requiring systemic hydration. Swish a small amount of water in your mouth and spit it out. Do not swallow it. Let us look at the grim reality. When you wake up at 2 in the morning, your brain is forced out of the REM sleep cycle. The sudden transition from supine to standing causes a massive spike in norepinephrine to stabilize your blood pressure. This stress hormone floods your vascular system. By the time you return to bed, your heart rate is elevated. Your core body temperature has shifted. It will take your brain at least 45 minutes to clear the norepinephrine and restart the delta wave sleep phase. Multiply this by 2 trips to the bathroom, and you have entirely erased the regenerative phase of your sleep cycle. Chronic sleep fragmentation accelerates cognitive decline because the glymphatic system in your brain, the system that washes away amyloid plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease, only operates effectively during uninterrupted deep sleep. You are not just losing sleep, you are actively accelerating the aging of your brain tissue. This is why fixing your hydration timeline is a matter of neurological survival. It is not a mandatory tax on aging. It is a mechanical error. It is a severe mismatch between what you are drinking and how your biological clock processes it. Replace the freezing morning glass with warm, slow sips. Throw out the evening lemon water that is chemically burning your thin mucosa. Add a tiny pinch of sea salt to feed your starving detrusor muscle. Practice the double voiding technique to clear the stretch receptors and enforce the 2-hour red line starting tonight. Your body still knows how to sleep deeply. You just need to stop giving it the chemical and mechanical signals to wake up. Look at your nightstand right now. If there is a glass of water sitting there, pour it down the sink. Which of these 7 fatal hydration mistakes are you making? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to uncover the raw, physiological truths they forgot to tell you.